What is cracking, everybody? Welcome back to Boo TV. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let's talk about this topic for today. AI. Bubba Chuck. Allen Iverson. Y'all know me. I like to give credit to players of the past that often get overlooked when people talk about the pantheon of greats. Not necessarily top 10 players, but great players, whether it be players or prospective rebounders or scorers or defensive players, and people often forget to put things into context. But we're going to talk about Allen Iverson right now. Allen Iverson is one of the greatest scorers and greatest basketball players we have ever seen. And when you take into context his weight and his size, you often hear people say, Allen Iverson is pound for pound the best player to ever play the game. This guy, honestly, was 5'11" to 6 feet. On a good day, he was 6 feet. 5'11", 6 foot. Tiny. Tiny. All the heart in the world. All the drive in the world. And one of the greatest scorers we have ever seen play the game. By Iverson's third year, he was already an elite player. He was averaging like 24, 25, 26 points per game by his third year. I think 26, damn near 27 points per game by his third year in the league out of Georgetown. Allen Iverson gave you 10 straight years of his prime playing elite level basketball, all of which were on the Philadelphia 76ers and then his tenure with the Denver Nuggets. We're not going to talk about his stint with the Detroit Pistons and the Memphis Grizzlies and then back to Philly. He was well past his prime at that point. But we're talking about those 10 solid years, 10 straight years where he was as deadly as anybody in the NBA from a scoring perspective. Iverson, not only considering Iverson's size and weight, the man played most of his career during the era of NBA bigs and NBA giants. And physicality. A man that size, mixing it in the paint, driving to the basket, taking punishment by true NBA bigs. I'm not talking about these toothpicks we have in today's league. These centers that weigh less than me. These skinny pseudo-woodos. These skinny-ass Jack Skeleton niggas that we have today as centers. I'm talking about bigs. I'm talking about Shaqs. I'm talking about Alonzo Mournings. Bro, I'm talking about Yaos, even though Yao wasn't much of a bruiser. I'm talking about the Mutombos of the world. And while Mutombo wasn't bulky, he was strong and he'd beat you up. We're talking about the Sabonises. Bro. I'm talking about bigs, bro. The Duncans, bro. The Garnetts, bro. The 4s, the 5s that will punish you. The Ben Wallaces. You hear me? He was mixing it up with them boys. And I know I'm missing some great ones, forgive me. Kenyon Martins. There's a lot of bigs back then. A lot of them. But anyway, he was mixing up with those guys at his size and giving them work. Fearless. Finisher at the rim. And one thing that doesn't get brought up is how supremely athletic AI was. People forget AI played football. He could have very well been a football player as well as a basketball player, believe it or not. Iverson even had bunnies. I look at players today that can barely get up and dunk. Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, and these guys have several more inches on AI. And Iverson was a better dunker than both Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry. The dude had ups. For a 5'11", 6-foot player, yeah, the dude could get up there. Remember, I saw him I think it was a putback. I don't know if it was a putback on his own miss. He did a putback on somebody, jumped over their back, boom. Iverson was a player, a breed of player that we will never see again in the city. We will never see another player at his size do what he was able to do for a decade. For a decade. We will never see that again. Ever. No way, no how. The dude is, and no one ever brings his name up. And I don't, I'm gonna make another episode about this whole efficiency, accuracy bullshit that people like to spit. Particularly, they bring it up with Kobe Bryant. Oh, he only shot 45, 46%. You do know that was average or above average for wing players during Kobe's tenure. The rules were different. The defense was different. And the only people shooting 50% back in them days was power forwards and centers. Wing players were hovering somewhere between 42% and 48%. That's a fact. But people just point out, if Kobe was inefficient, then you better say Paul Pierce was inefficient. You better say Tracy McGrady was inefficient. You better say Antoine Walker was inefficient from the field goal percentage. Rashard Lewis was inefficient. Vince Carter was inefficient. You better say all these other players that played in that era was inefficient too. Because during that late 90s to mid to late-ish 2000s, up to like 2010, that was about what everybody was doing, and most wings were doing that. Excluding a few outliers. Notable players that took a volume of shots. All right? So I'm going to nip that in the bud. So Iverson, people look at, he was inefficient. No. A, he was not inefficient. And B, also considering his size, he was definitely not inefficient. Show me a scorer at his size getting beat up in a league, getting beat up as much as he was, with the physicality that he was dealing with, as much as he was, shooting Iverson's field goal percentage. Show me. I want to know. And people like to throw all these advanced analytics around. True field goal. See, people don't throw true field goal percentage out, or they don't put it out there when it's a player that doesn't. Oh, my hoodie's inside out. Oh my God. When it doesn't have to do with a player that they want to support. So if you want to talk about true shooting percentage, Iverson was almost 52%. So cut the shit out, man. Iverson was an elite scorer and an underrated playmaker at that. He averaged 6 assists for his career, but people like to call him a ball hog and a volume shooter. I'm like, did you ever watch the games? Iverson was constantly setting his teammates up. Constantly. On top of getting his buckets. Do you realize this guy, this 6-foot guy, tiny, miniature, giving you buckets, putting the team on his back? The fact that he even made it to the finals with that team in Philadelphia speaks volumes. It was literally the next best player on that team was Aaron McKee or Eric Snow. Take your pick. He was running with Eric Snow, Aaron McKee, Dikembe Mutombo, Matt Geiger. Who else was on that team? What was that? Was it Theo Ratliff? Or Tyrone Hill? No, I think it was Tyrone Hill. I can't remember. But anyway, the roster was abysmal. He took that team to the finals and stole game one of the 2001 NBA Finals from the undefeated Lakers in that postseason. The Lakers hadn't lost a game yet. They were trying to go for a clean sweep. And he was able to get one game off them, off his sheer brilliance alone. Put some respect on this man's name. And y'all need to start talking about him when we talk about all-time great players. Allen Iverson is unquestionably, to me, a top 15, top 20 player. I have to think about it. I have to think about if I want to put him in top 15, top 20. Probably top 20 player of all time right now. I'd probably say top 20. He is unquestionably a top 20 player of all time. Even after he got traded to Denver, he still, for a couple of years in Denver, how many years did he play in Denver? Was it 2? No, maybe like 2 or 3. I can't remember. But he played a couple years in Denver. And he was still performing at a peak level with Carmelo Anthony. Still. And that team had a lot of offensive firepower. They just had zero defense. They had absolutely no defense. And I think Iverson, even at one point in his career, I think he scored back-to-back 50-point games. Literally back-to-back 50-point games. Consecutive 50-point games. And I think he even had 1 or 2 outings where he scored 60-plus points. 1 or 2. Was it something like that? I didn't look this stuff up. I'm just going off my memory. We're talking here. So he had 1 or 2 60-point games. Pretty sure. So put some respect on this man's name. Iverson give it to you mid-range. Iverson give it to you going to the cup. We all know about his handles. And his shot was so interesting because he really didn't flick the wrist like that. Iverson didn't flick the wrist like that. He didn't have a lot of rotation on the ball. If you look at the ball after he shoots, it wasn't a whole lot of rotation, a whole lot of spin. He would be more like a little bit of a snap of a wrist, but more of a push. So the ball would slowly rotate or float to the basket. You gotta look at it. It's simply amazing how his form was. It was more of like that than a that. It was like a that type of form. Iverson was a special player, man. And I'm happy that I got to watch him play. I actually got to watch him play live before while he was on the Sixers. Yeah, he was right up during his he was a top 5, top 10 player at any given time during his prime. Top 5 to top 10 player. I mean, God damn it, he has an MVP, man. What are we talking about? 2001 league MVP. A guy that size taking on a load as much as he did for as long as he did deserves recognition. Some people aren't always blessed with having a super team. Some people aren't always blessed with having a super team or having a great foundation around them or always having a cycle of good players while maintaining core continuity around them. Not every player is going to have that. And usually those kind of players aren't going to win championships, that don't get that type of stability with the franchise. Iverson was one of them. By the time he went to Detroit, still a good team. They really weren't title contenders. And Iverson wasn't prime Iverson, so he wasn't going to be able to contribute like a Philadelphia version of Iverson would to Detroit and take him over the top. All right, so cut that noise out, man. Cut it out. And you know what? You don't have to believe me. Y'all know how we do. Let's watch, just a couple minutes of Allen Iverson footage, shall we? All right, so we're going back to my boy Maximilian 711 because he puts out the best basketball videos on YouTube. This one is Allen Iverson 2000 and 2001 MVP season highlights. It's an extremely long video. It's almost an hour long. So if you want to watch the whole thing, go check his channel out. But we'll watch a couple minutes from some segments of his video here. Let's get into it. Put my headphones on.
And Iverson pushing it down. Iverson takes all the
to the rim, right there. C-Web, mixing up with C-Web.
Iverson shooting the three.
Look at the rotation. Not a whole lot of rotation on the ball.
To do that.
Those are my favorite Iverson shoes, by the way.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I coached him right to be.
Dude, we don't get enough credit, dude. Always mixing it up with the Giants. And have range, too. Hit the 3 ball. I still want a pair of them AIs.
Here's Iverson.
Big in his face. Big in his face. Oh, you want some? Come get that work.
I've had a couple of silent performances at the offensive end.
Come get that work, Jason Williams. Come get that work. See how he just kind of... He was deadly from anywhere on the court. Anywhere on the court, AI was a threat.
Season-high 45 in a loss at home to the Utah Jazz.
Excellent at creating space. Excellent at creating space. Look at that.
Iverson said, that ain't gonna work either.
Doug Christie, come get that work. Oh, you gonna put Bobby Jackson on me? Come get that. Wet. Wet.
Danny Ainge. Here's Iverson. Shot clock down at 2.
Do you see that move? Cross left. Looks like he's gonna go full to the right. Stops on his left pitcher's foot. Pulls back, shoots.
Iverson on the pull. Yes. By in the 5-minute overtime. Iverson. Yes.
And here comes Snow, feeding to Iverson, leading scorer in the NBA, coming off a 30
injury, but it only affected him on defense. It didn't affect his shot selection or his amount of
Here comes Iverson with 7. Shot clock is at 8. Over Bowen. Oh, what a shot!
Well, this is just a step back.
That's an elite defender right there. That's Bruce Bowen.
Just penetrates in.
That is an elite defender. That's a Bruce Bowen, like 6'5", 6'6".
Scores out there on the court for either team right now. But there's one right there.
Dude, he would just float in the air on the fadeaway.
Into 3. Oh my goodness!
Takes the ball down the court. He scores over the entire Miami Heat defense right there. 2 pretty good defenders in
this season.
I thought I had a side bet with Coach anyway. I can afford to feed him. I don't have
Dude, these shots are insanely difficult.
That's like a newspaper reporter, guys. Look at that. That's a big old camera. That's on
straight up.
Iverson with his quickness and range, he can get a shot off anytime he wants.
Well, and Carter has been doing a good job on him. Allen's been telling him. Now we're talking about his game. That's what I meant earlier. That he came back to be a.
Watch this. You gonna get this work now, boy.
Iverson for 3. Oh, Iverson is a flamethrower.
And I love it right here. You know, Carter thinks he's won the battle by pushing him way out there. He just raises up, says, sorry, boy.
2 minutes to play. Iverson with Marley on him.
Oh, that crossover, nasty. Leaning, fadeaway to the right.
To amaze.
Places Wesley in the lineup.
But Iverson may drive on him.
Don't give it to Buzz City now.
Slow them getting down into their offense.
Iverson catch, shoot, and score. Iverson on the wing. Robinson there to guard him. The 3 ball is good. Iverson, big cover with McLaurin. 10 this half.
It was definitely a pleasure watching this guy play.
Going sideways and hits.
It's advantage when they try to use him offensively.
Here's Iverson trying to pick his way in and the drive.
Mixing in with the bigs, man.
Who
that? PJ Brown? Is that PJ Brown?
Control, shoots it
in the paint.
Off balance
in the half court.
Iverson backs up.
Not sure.
Oh, we got that one. Nobody's leaving this one. Iverson at the top. Eddie Robinson guarding him, gets behind him, and a high banker off the square. Iverson. David Wesley matched up with him as Eddie Robinson's getting a rest. Here's Iverson for 3. Oh, my goodness. Checked by Davis.
Dude was a problem, man.
Iverson makes his...
Skip ahead.
New little wrinkle to the...
Oh, giving it to Sam I Am. Giving it to Sam I Am. Sam Cassell, baby.
Wrinkle there gets Allen ISO'd on either side.
Ooh, what you doing, Sam I Am?
Iverson, there's the crossover.
Crossover, man. He just hang, bring back, off the glass.
That is the signature move right there.
They've won 12 straight, franchise record.
Who won it? The Pacers? Who that? Austin Crozier? Come here, Austin Crozier. Yeah, that's Austin Crozier.
Iverson now with 9 points.
He waits for Iverson. Goes baseline, does Allen. The glass good. But I don't have a
that was extremely difficult. Did you see how he caught the ball in one motion and put it through his legs?
Iverson. Man. Coughs it up. Iverson in on Glover. Off the window again. Out to Allen.
Whoa. That's the improvisation.
Leaning the other way, underhand layup. Little scoop. Listen, he's scoring on everybody. 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s.
You would think.
At 5'11", 6 foot, man.
That's for 3.
Yeah. But it winds up in his hand.
3-point range. And people like to clown these players back in the day, like, oh, he wasn't a 3-point shooter. Shut that shit up. Back then, players would only take 2 to 3 3-pointers a game. So if you take 3 3-pointers a game and you make one, it's going to reflect as a poor 3-point percentage. Versus today, where players take 10 3-pointers a game and they may miss their first 3, but they keep chucking them up until the percentage goes up. I don't want to hear that
a couple
shit.
Years ago in the playoffs, they did put.
He couldn't shoot the 3 ball. Are you kidding me? You stupid? They didn't take a lot of them.
On the baseline glide with the reverse off glass. Allen Iverson going to.
How many players today miss their first 2 or 3 3-pointers, but they keep shooting them because that's all they do is shoot 3s now. Back then, you didn't take as many. So if you miss 1 or 2, it just reflects poorly on your 3-point percentage because you didn't take a lot. Tired of people in these bullshit narratives. Iverson could shoot the 3 ball just as good as most players in the league today. Kobe, come get that. Forrest Grant, you get that too.
There's a way to play some defense. Can they play it? Not as well as Philly, I can tell you that right now.
Give me the space. Look at his ability to create space.
What a show!
The answer. He had an answer for the Laker defense that time.
What a show by the little guy.
Come get that facial, boy. Who's that on? Brian Shaw?
$150.
Oh, that's on Ron Harper.
A lot of things special, and Allen Iverson can do.
Told you he'd get up too.
Trzeba dawać grać zawodnikom to, co umieją najlepiej, a
uciekać na
zamykanie linii końcowej to była słabość Sacramento Kings. Teraz wykorzystują.
As you can see, Iverson was no joke. I'm going to have to make another video about that too, about people trying to clown players of the past saying, oh, they couldn't shoot the 3. No, they actually could shoot the 3. We're going to do that for another episode. But anyway, yeah, man, Iverson was unreal. 10 years of his career at that size doing that, putting on that kind of show, putting in that kind of work. Pay homage, man. Show some respect. All right. Appreciate you guys. Let me know what you think of Allen Iverson in the comment section. Do you agree or do you disagree with me? Let me know. I would love to hear your opinion. Go to war with everybody else. Y'all know how we do. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. We out, baby.